Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we'll just continue with the same website, that is hackthisite.org, and we have completed our 6 challenges in the previous couple of lectures, but now we have the important lecture, which is obfuscation. So first of all, let me just click on this link which is saying take this challenge. So this is one of the moderate challenges, saying that this is the JS obfuscation, which is JavaScript obfuscation. So first of all, let's see what this obfuscation means, and we have the Wikipedia link over here, and it is saying that obfuscation is a deliberate act of the creating source of a machine code that is difficult for human to understand. That means you are just wrapping or making the code, which is a JavaScript code, that won't be easy for the human to understand. That means it is not simple like when you just make an alert. So if you just write something like alert, it would be converted into the form that would be very difficult for human to understand. That won't be something like alert. It will be converted to hexadecimal code or something like advanced code that won't be easily understandable by the humans. Like obfuscation in the natural language, it may use or basically needlessly a roundabout expression to compose statements. That means it would be random and it would be created so that it won't be understand for the humans, so that it would be difficult to do the reverse engineering. That means it will be difficult for human to crack the code, which is basically the way to just make your code much more efficient and much more difficult for the hackers to understand. So let's see some of the tool which is available online. So we have the obfuscator.io. so let's see how this works. So you are just getting your basically JavaScript code, which is just the function saying hi. You can just customize this function of your own, and it is just giving us hello world. It is just printing the hello world to our console. So when you just create this JavaScript code, let's obfuscate this code. So let's see how the obfuscate work. So you have a couple of functions over here. You can get the some of the ways to obfuscate, and I'm just making the hexadecimal generator over here. So let's press this link to obfuscate, and you are getting this link over here. So you can see your code, which was simple JavaScript code saying hello world, has been obfuscated to something like this, which is very much difficult to understand for the hackers. So what you are doing here was just creating the variable, or basically what you have just created the functions. You won't be understanding what is going over here. You have the while. Why we need while is basically the way, or basically it is making the hackers or for ourselves to understand that basically it is very difficult. You have the different function why this is over here, or basically the simple code, which was simple, this code has been transformed to something the way that won't be able for the hackers to be understandable. So this can be the way for the developer to just wrap their code so that it won't be easily cracked by the hackers. So this is the obfuscate. That means you are making your code, that is your transformation of the code, that will be difficult for human to understand. So that means we can just expect something like the way that the simple function will be wrapped something like this, or basically like this, which was our output. So we would expect that they will obfuscate their code to something like this. So they will just wrap the variable like this, they will just wrap the functions, or the DOM method will be just made something like this, so that it won't be easy for us to crack what they are doing. So let's try. First of all, let's press Ctrl U, Ctrl F. Let's see password, and we have find the password over here. So let's see what is the JS obfuscation, or what they are doing over here. Let's search that. So if you see here, as we have told here that it should be something like this, and as expected we have something like this over here. So this is our JavaScript code. So let me just copy this, all of this, because you would expect that anything inside this script tag would be your JavaScript code. So let me just run my Sublime and paste it over here. So what is this, man? So this is your obfuscate code. So you are just getting this code where you have the two statement, because as you know, the JavaScript codes or the one line code will just end with this semicolon. That means you have here the two statement. First statement is this and the second one is over here. So let's see how we can just crack this code. So first of all, let me just see what this variable is. So let me just grab this, Control C, and as usual we'll just get this console from here. We'll just inspect the element, go to the console, paste it right over here, and as you see, this is the array. So this is the array that has from char code and the right. That means let's go over here, and this has the content of this. So I'll just copy all of this, as this is array. Let me just go back and paste it over here. So we have just get the variable, which was this variable, and if you see over here that this variable has something like this. So let me just copy this and go back and see what this is all about. So it is right. That means what we are doing here, let me just go over here, grab my pen real quick. So let me just grab this. So we have this variable, which is this random variable over here too, as you can see over here, and this bunch of code is just assessing the element of this array. So basically this is same as saying this is 1. So this object is referring to this. An array starts with 0 and the 1. So you are saying document, and inside that you are just putting this right, because this is the way to assess the element of the array. This is the one of the way. We can also assess the element of the array with the dot, and this is the another way to assess the element of the array. So what we have done here is we just get the right. That means we'll just remove all of this and we'll just pass here as right. So it should be right. And after that we have this string. So let me just grab all of these from here. So I'll just grab up to this. Let me just copy. Let me just go back here. Let me paste all of these. That is your string. Let me just hit enter. Okay, so we are getting some of the JavaScript code over here. So let me just grab this code and let me copy the message, go back to the Sublime, let me paste over here. So what we are doing is basically we have the code over here, and let me just remove this bunch of a thing we don't need. So we have now clean JavaScript code. So let me just remove this part too. And now we're familiar with the button tag, and this button tag is just showing the check password, which was obfuscated with this bunch of a code. So it was hidden with this code basically, and you can also do this with the online tool. So we just get now our clean JavaScript code. So let's see what is going over here. So we have the event which is on click, and it is just checking with these conditionals, that is saying if the password is equal to this value, then it will give us an alert message saying that you win. Otherwise it will just give something that with the else part, that it is wrong and you should just try again. That means we are having the clean code right here. So in order to win, the value should be this. So let me just copy this. If the value or the password is this, we'll just get a alert of win. Otherwise it will just say wrong. So let's go back to our Mozilla. Let's click hack this site, and this should be our password. Let me paste this down, check password, and it is saying you win. So this is the way to just see for the obfuscation, and it is the advanced concept in the JavaScript where you hide the code so as the hackers won't get your code so easily. But we have the online tools like this in order to just crack for this obfuscated code also. And this is the way so that you can just try, and we have just completed all of our challenges of the missions, which are the simple and basic challenges which can be useful in the upcoming lectures so as to test for your JavaScript skills. And in the upcoming lecture we'll just start using the burp suite, and we'll just make use of that burp suite to check for the XSS attack on the live website and see how burp suite work with the JavaScript. So see you in the next one.